The second set of problems in practice 2 for Against All Odds ask the following question. You have to design an experiment involving 120 students to determine whether using real-world problems in a statistics class increases students' rating of relevance of statistics to their lives. The first question is, how will you assign the groups? Well, there's 120 students, so we're going to put 60 students in an experimental group, and they'll receive the treatment that's needed, that's involved here, and 60 students will go into a control group that will receive a placebo. And so that would be, in this case, the experimental group would have a course that has real-world problems in it. The placebo would be just a standard statistics course that doesn't really focus on real-world problems. And so the independent variable is the presence of real-world problems in the statistics class, real-world problems, and it'd be measured by just the inclusion of those problems, whether it's in lecture or in the discussion in the class. And then the dependent variable is their rating of relevance of statistics to their lives, okay, and that I assume would be done through a survey of some sort. And then what are the possible sources of bias? The two groups are randomly assigned, so there really shouldn't be sources of bias. Bias in statistics is an oversampling of one group, which means an undersampling of another group. So if we randomly select these students, bias should not be a concern. There may be other lurking variables that might be a problem with this study, including teachers' perceptions of whether they understand whether it's an experimental or a control group. There may be other factors that might affect the study, but in terms of bias, as long as the groups are assigned randomly, that should not be a source of bias in this study.